Raytheon has announced the completion of 10 subsystem tests for the Next-Generation Short-Range Interceptor. Compared to the current Stinger missile, NGSRI shows a significant performance boost. Its targeting capability is 3 times better, its range is doubled, and it can accurately identify drones from 5 kilometers away, even in a sandstorm. So, why is the U.S. military phasing out the highly successful Stinger? And what role will NGSRI play in real-world combat? The Stinger, a standard man-portable air defense system for the U.S. military, has been exported to over 30 countries. Its most notable success came during the 1979 Soviet-Afghan War, when Afghan guerrilla fighters launched 340 Stingers, hitting 269 targets for a remarkable hit rate of 79%. After the outbreak of the Ukraine war, the Ukrainian army used NATO-supplied Stingers to shoot down a large number of Russian helicopters and aircraft, significantly limiting Russia's use of unguided bombs to strike Ukrainian ground forces. Despite its success, the Stinger missile is nearing its retirement. Although effective, the Stinger is old. Development of the Stinger began in 1967, designed to replace the FIM-43 Red-Eye. Initially named Red-Eye 2, it was later rebranded as the FIM-92A Stinger and entered service in 1981. The U.S. also supplied large quantities of FIM-92A to the Afghan anti-Soviet armed forces. Not long after its debut, the Stinger saw upgrades. The FIM-92B, with an improved seeker head, began production in 1983, and the FIM-92C featured a programmable microprocessor, significantly enhancing its performance and jamming resistance. Currently, the most widely used version is the FIM-92E, also known as the Stinger RMP Block 1, developed in 1992. With upgrades like a roll sensor and enhanced tracking software, it can better engage smaller targets. The FIM-92F is the major mass-produced version, with further software enhancements. Between 1996 and 2002, the U.S. Army developed the Stinger RMP Block 2, which featured an 8-kilometer range and an infrared focal plane seeker, but was eventually canceled due to significant delays. Since 2014, the U.S. military has been extending the life of the current Stinger RMP Block 1 through an upgrade program called FIM-92J. This version adds proximity fuses, improving its ability to target small drones with weak thermal signatures. Despite these upgrades, the Stinger still relies on designs from the 1980s, and its programmable microprocessor was expected to become obsolete by 2023. This means the missile can no longer be upgraded through software improvements. The U.S. military's Stinger missile stockpile is shrinking, with 5,892 missiles refurbished as part of a life extension program. However, this number is still insufficient. With increasing training, testing, and evaluation needs, and the depletion of stockpiles through aid to Ukraine, the Pentagon has indicated that the Stinger missile inventory is running low. In 2022, Congress allocated $3.5 billion to replenish missile stocks, but the continuing Ukraine war means the supply remains tight. Additionally, the rise of battlefield drones has exposed the Stinger's limitations in countering these threats. Army Acquisition Director Douglas Bush even remarked that refurbishing old missiles is like upgrading a Nokia phone with 5G chips. It just doesn't work. As a result, in March 2022, the U.S. Army launched the Next-Generation Short-Range Interceptor program, aimed at developing a new missile to replace the Stinger. So, what performance requirements does the new interceptor need to meet? The Army hasn't released detailed specifications, but has stated that the missile should be capable of targeting rotary-wing aircraft, fixed-wing planes, and Class 2 to 3 drones. The Army categorizes drones based on weight, altitude, and speed. Class 1, 2, and 3 drones are small, weighing less than 600 kilograms, flying below 5,490 meters, and moving at speeds under 463 kilometers per hour. NGSRI will need proximity fuses, enhanced target acquisition, and improvements in both range and lethality compared to the Stinger. These enhancements aim to deliver greater power and effectiveness compared to the aging Stinger missile. The new seeker and targeting systems also allow the missile operator to identify targets with low exposure, making it more effective in modern combat scenarios. Achieving these improvements isn't difficult. As far back as 20 years ago, the Army tested the Stinger RMP Block II, which upgraded to an infrared focal plane seeker and a larger missile body, extending its range to 8 kilometers. Over the past decade, miniaturization of multi-mode seekers, advances in missile head technology, and solid rocket motor innovations have made significant progress. Combining these technologies into a new air defense missile could easily ensure superior performance, while keeping the size on par with the Stinger. The addition of network capabilities would allow the missile to integrate with other sensors, using external systems for target acquisition and guidance, offering greater flexibility in neutralizing enemies. The seeker is the heart of the missile's targeting system. Historically, man-portable air defense systems like the Stinger targeted helicopters and low-flying aircraft with very high success rates. For helicopters, flying at low altitudes within the effective range of portable missiles, the short engagement time made them especially vulnerable. The heat signatures from fixed-wing aircraft and rotary-wing helicopters were also much larger and easier to detect. However, drones have changed the dynamics. With their much smaller heat signatures, drones present a much greater challenge for traditional air defense systems, requiring more advanced seekers. The targeting system must also be capable of tracking and locking onto such small, fast-moving objects. This is where the NGSRI excels. In terms of design, NGSRI is compatible with the current Stinger vehicle launchers, meaning it can be integrated directly into existing systems like the Avenger and the M-SHORAD systems. Raytheon has made significant progress with the NGSRI, completing 10 subsystem tests, and is scheduled for its first flight test later this year. Raytheon's subsystem tests demonstrate the missile's enhanced performance. The new seeker has far superior detection capabilities compared to the Stinger, providing a 3-time longer lock-on range even in complex electromagnetic environments, easily intercepting drones. The upgraded rocket motor doubles the Stinger's intercept radius, extending the missile's range and enhancing its overall defense capability. Furthermore, Raytheon's intelligent command and control system enables the NGSRI to identify aerial targets from longer distances, even in low-visibility conditions like sandstorms, with a proven ability to detect small drones from 5 kilometers away. The warhead tests confirm that the NGSRI can effectively neutralize various aerial threats. Its multi-mode warhead is capable of destroying drone swarms with a single shot, achieving a double kill on a target. The other 6 tests focus on key missile functions like tracking, guidance, aerodynamics, fusing, and safety. The next phase will involve soldier engagement exercises, where real soldiers will operate the missile, providing feedback to the development team. The flight test exercises are also scheduled to occur later this year. Although Raytheon has made impressive strides, they are not without competition. Lockheed Martin, alongside Raytheon, is involved in the NGSRI project. The Army has structured a 5-year competition between the two companies, divided into 2 phases. In the first 2 years, both companies are tasked with developing new missile designs and producing limited prototype models for flight testing. If both models perform well, they move into the second phase, where Raytheon and Lockheed Martin must refine their designs based on Army requirements in key areas and produce new prototypes. This stage will ultimately determine the winner, and the chosen model will enter mass production. However, if one of the companies outperforms the other in the initial phase, the competition will end early, and that missile will be selected for the final phase. The Army plans to work with only one supplier for the next 3 years. The Army has expressed a desire to maintain long-term competition to ensure missile performance and pricing remain competitive. Without competition, there's no guarantee of keeping prices down, as we've seen with previous procurement projects. From 2024 to 2025, Raytheon and Lockheed Martin are in a fierce competition to develop the NGSRI, with the winner receiving a massive $2.3 billion order. So far, Lockheed Martin has been moving faster, having already completed soldier engagement exercises with positive feedback and is preparing for flight tests later this year. In contrast, Raytheon has just finished testing several key subsystems. The rise of cheap drones on the battlefield is reshaping air defense strategies, forcing a major shift from traditional low-altitude, point defense systems to broader area, drone-focused surface-to-air missile solutions. The NGSRI project marks this shift, with a modular design that allows for rapid software updates during wartime to counter emerging threats. The U.S. Army is also making upgrades across other air defense systems. The Stinger missiles upgrades fall under the M-SHORAD Increment 3. To enhance air defense, the Army introduced Increment 1, which uses an 8x8 Stryker armored vehicle equipped with 4 Stinger launchers, double Hellfire longbow missiles, and a 30mm M230 gun. Increment 2 added directed energy weapons, including 50 kilowatts lasers or high-power microwave systems. Increment 3 replaces the Stinger with more advanced air defense missiles. In May 2024, the Army announced Increment 4, aiming to provide air defense for dismounted troops. This solution involves a portable air defense system that can be integrated into platforms such as Joint Light Tactical Vehicles or robotic vehicles. Although the Army plans to deploy this system between 2027 and 2028, it's likely that the program will be delayed until after 2035, given current progress. Well, that's all for this video. What do you think the NGSRI still needs to improve in order to be a truly effective replacement for the Stinger? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's discuss.